let's do a challenge. Let's do a challenge. Just post a video every day for the why. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I am spinning. I am so tired from my actual life because I've got so much work. Because work was hectic for me throughout the week. I appreciate your well wishes, you guys, so very much. I have some relief today. I've got good news today regarding what's been bothering me. So thank you guys. I want to do an assumptions tag for 1,000 subscribers, and I will tell you guys the day that I put it up on my stories. Today's Friday, so I might put it up tomorrow, Sunday, and then sometime during the week it'll probably be one of my videos where I confirm or deny the assumption about me. But yeah, but let's get into it. So I saw the story and Kaimaiza a bit because I was like, is it true? And like one of my friends also shared it with me, and she's like, dude, but like it's not make sure, I've seen that other bloggers ran with it. Plenty other people reported on it, but I don't want to. But it's about the Instagram baddies, and apparently there's a website, one of these exclusive ones. It was leaked on Twitter or X or whatever about what rates that they charge on those sites. Basically, they escorts, they call girls, and their Instagram profile is essentially like part of the marketing, if you would like. And there's so many conversations to have there. I suppose you know me, honey. But it's almost a continuation of the Chloe video, if you would like, the Miss EXO video, because I'm like, some of you are genuine in your concern, because I talk a lot in my Real Housewives reviews of how appreciative I am of this new style of being so very transparent about the procedures that you get done, right? The cosmetic enhancements that you get done, because for a while, I grew up, there were teen years where we were being gaslit. Like, women were having the tiniest thighs and the biggest bums and the smallest, like, the tiniest waist. And when you're dragging a wagon, like some of us, the fat settles elsewhere too. And it was like fucking with your mind. And because they kept lying, it's one thing to keep quiet, and it's another thing to lie. They were lying to us and things like that. So a lot of us spend so much time in pursuit of these unrealistic body standards. Stay with me. So when I see young women online, like having these like very manicured, just like lavish kind of, just living large, right? And there's no real explanation to it. I'm like, because for a while we were being led to believe that Instagram or influencer, being an influencer is how this is happening. And what you saw now were other young women like me who was in pursuit of this body ideal, in like pursuing this career path because it was being presented as something lucrative. Kante, whole time, the big boys are sponsoring the life. It's not Nivea because Saliba will that one campaign. We're watching your ads. It's not saying sponsored ads, or you're not disclosing that you come from like wealth. You're making us believe all types of things. So there's that angle for me where I'm like, sometimes we do need to peel back the curtain. And for me, it's not in an attempt to shame you for doing what you do, but I'm also like, I'm like two sides about it, because I'm like, I also understand why you wouldn't share that this is how you're making your money. It comes with its own stuff, I wouldn't blame you for not wanting to say, hey, this is how I'm actually making my money. There's social consequences for that as well. That said, when you also try to present it as something else, now you're a liar. Like, it's so layered for me where I'm like, I get it. Like, I get it so much, but you're also being very misleading. This is why we saw that influx of like every young, pretty girl after Mikali blew up the way she did, every young pretty girl started a YouTube channel. Everybody. I'm talking, nobody has ever said you've got an amazing personality. All we know is that, like, you're the pretty cousin. So you're not even necessarily pretty. The people at your house are ugly. So you're the pretty one guy in or whatever. I don't know, girl. This pretty stuff is like very difficult for me. But like, or confusing. I don't get it. My point is, it's like, what exactly do we want from the girls? Because when we have the girls on This Body Works for Me, when we have them being transparent about how it is they're making this guap, they I hate it. But like, would we rather not they just say I'm selling this ass? Like, honestly, because now I don't have to wonder when they say it. We say that they're promoting, this industry that causes so much harm to women in the long run, and then you start with all your spiritual arguments of like, when you sleep with this one, then it's the soul ties, la toma now. Like, all of you start now. It's like, oh, they're promoting this. What are we saying we then want from? I'm very confused. What do we want from the girls? Right. That sounds like there's so many like places to go with this argument. My main one, my initial one, that's why I said it's a continuation of the Miss XO thing. My main one is, you all are just some old fashioned haters like me. I be hating sometimes, except we be lying about why we find this so salacious, why we want them to be exposed. Like, there's this need to humble the baddie, right? To say, aha, I fucking knew. There is no way, because it also comes from a place of not having the nice things, of being envious, of looking at this life and saying, oh wow, I wish I could have that. And with the men in particular, again, we're back here, the McGee's crowd. With the men in particular, it's very much rooted in punani envy. Like, men fantasize about what they think it is to have a vagina and what they would do with it if they had. I've heard them have these conversations. If I was a girl, oh my God, I would never work. If I was a girl, oh my God. Well, if you were a girl, but you were exactly you, it would still not work out for you. I told you guys this stuff like, guys, it's a calling. I've tried to explain, the Khadi's been trying to explain, it's a calling. Not all girls get to have this stuff, Even the prettiest of the pretty, sometimes you just don't belong in that space. Like, being good at math doesn't mean you need to necessarily go into a career to do with mathematics if you otherwise don't feel like that's what you want to do. It's the same thing. Like, being pretty, being highly desirable, men wanting you doesn't mean you are automatically gonna go down this path. It's literally the same thing. But men like suffer from like serious punani envy. And like, when this stuff happens, you see them. I think Kimberly called it, who's this, Cat Williams, in that interview. I don't know what he was talking about. And it's not just him, she's used this term a few times. What is it? Benevolent misogynist. Yes. So you feel very righteous in your misogyny, and you feel so righteous in your slut shaming, because you think we can't see where it's actually coming from. Like, we must think, oh, they influencing our daughters wrong. You have not seen your fucking daughter since she's been born, sir. Okay? Down to the maintenance court. That's where you are. But you're online influencing our daughters, to go down this path. Shut up. You're just mad that your privates aren't as valuable, and it's your own doing. Really, it's your own doing. You'll sling it any which way. Let's talk about that, right? As long as like part of masculinity is this bodies, like your body count being as high as possible, and you like laying with as many women as possible, and it's all of this. Yeah, it's not the same for men. You are congratulated and celebrated, but it also means that your prized possession, if you would like, is not as valuable in the market. That's how we get here. And if I'm being honest, I'm talking about it in terms of women are less willing to purchase it. Other men are willing to purchase it. Listen, if you would let yourself live a little bit, you actually could be a baddie too, right? If you could just admit, more of you are fluid than you care to admit it. We clock you every day. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's like a squad of 10 dudes and you all have like wives. I must believe me that nobody, like five of you there, aren't really trying to see what is really up. Huh? Amazon, because the world exists. Those of you who are experiencing like extreme punani envy, the world exists for you to be a baddie, a little boy baddie. Troy was over there on his channel interviewing this other guy. I forget his name, but very sexy guy, like very type guy. And they both openly gay men, and they were talking about being prepositioned I was by older men or by websites that facilitate these like sugar, sugar boy and zaddy kind. So you don't need to walk around here saying we knew it, where we knew you weren't getting the money there, you little slut. You don't need to do that. You just need to go sign up on that site so even you can live your best life. And you can stop coming on here acting like you care about the influence that they have on the little girls, because you don't care. You would start by fixing your own behavior if you were so concerned about like what we're imprinting on the little girls of the world. Like, are those the same little girls that like you wait with bated breath, like at the stroke of midnight, they're like, she's 18, you're like, oh, well, she's legal now. You same people are the ones who care when we tell you that these girls are not yet matured. Even at 18, they don't know what's going. You're like, wow, she's legal. The same group of you are the same ones who are out here feeling righteous in your slut shaming of these girls when really you're just really a jealous bitch. And you don't have to be. Like I said, just bend over, touch your toes, and get your check and live large. Don't be over here. Rakadi sees you for who you are, honey. Okay? But there's more to talk about. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow and we can talk about just like try to unpack, because there is an argument for those of us who are actually really concerned about the long-term effects of engaging in this behavior, the safety elements of it, what precautions can be taken to keep you from experiencing any sort of harm, or it might still happen. It happens in your everyday life, even outside of these circles, right? By these same men that are apparently so concerned about, the welfare of the little girls and the women, the same fucking ones inflicting the harm. Like, it's so bizarre, babe. Like, it's just make it make sense. So you can't, you cannot. Also, Rahadi left you guys a nugget, and nobody clocked like my little nugget that I left you guys in the thumbnail of the Digaula video. Guys, check where the fairy godmother, like her work badge. I was so proud of that little Easter egg. Okay, bye.